Ni hao, my friends. GalacticStorm here. Happy late 4th of July. And today, I should have been doing this a while ago, but we are going to be reviewing the Chinese tech tree that just came out, which is the Chinese Dynasty. This just came out a few days ago, and I didn't have enough time for it because I had work. And China is now the 7th and the last nation that came in for the Xbox version. And it's now we have all the nations in for the Xbox version as well, so that's cool. China earlier with these tanks, the first tiers, they're either French, American, or Japanese. The Renault NC31, which is obviously French. The Vickers MKE Type B, which is a tier 2 tank, or British tank, I would say. The Chi-Ha, which is the Japanese when they occupied China. The M5A1 Stuart, and the later models, they're going to be, as you can see here, they're going to be Soviet and American type. Type 34, Type 58 right here, which is tier 6. And then there's the 5916, which is another tier, it's one of their Chinese based, but this is the American Type 64. And then there's the WZ131. They always have something with WZs on this one. And then there's the T34-1, which is another copy of the T34. And then look, another copy of the IS-2. Well, the IS-2, obviously. The WZ132, which is their tier 8 light tank. And then there's the T34-2, which is another thing for the Soviets. The majority of their things are going to be based on the Soviets. 1110, the 112, which is a tier 8 premium, T34-3, which looks very interesting among the others. And then there's the WZ120, which is tier 9. And then there's the WZ Model 14, which is tier 9, and it's a heavy. The 113, which is tier 10. And then there's the 121. For this tank, for these tanks, I really haven't had really good games with the Chinese line. It was like the Russians when I had my first gameplays with them. I absolutely sucked until I got to get used to them. So I have some gameplay here and just cover from what happened the past few days. So without further ado, let the carnage begin. Haven't had a really good game in Mines recently, well, for a while now. Now, for this game, I'm going to be playing as the Renault NC31, which is the tier 1 light tank that you'll get, which is your starter tank for China. The Renault NC31 is pretty much another Renault tank, but was exported to China. With this Renault tank, this one's a little bit different compared to the other Renault tanks that you see from the other nations. This thing has better penetration. This thing also has good armor and really good speed compared to the other tanks that you'll see with the other tier 1s. I'm using the 37mm KWK, and I'm not putting any modules, well, not modules, I would say like a first aid, a repair kit, or a fire extinguisher, because I just don't think it'd be necessary for right now. Now, the majority of my gameplay is going to be up in the middle part of this map here, and let me tell you a little bit about the Chinese tanks, that what they all share, and what's different from the mediums, the lights, or the heavies. And as you can tell, there's no artillery or tank destroyers, so we can just go for a few of the parts. All of them in comparability, they have good mobility, they have good camo values, they have good sloped armor. But the biggest things about these tanks, and which I'm dealing with this low tractor right now, they have bad health, fragile modules, as you can see here. I got my commander, or my driver killed, and my ammo rack damaged. And you have fragile modules, you have bad health, and you have bad gun depression, as you can see here. And the gun depression is probably one of the worst that you'll see, especially from the Russians and the Germans. They're pretty bad compared. If you think they're bad, compare this to the Chinese. They're ugh. The light tanks, they offer fast, agile, good penetration, and accuracy, but you know, with light tanks, they offer bad armor, firepower, and health, which you're seeing right now. Medium tanks, they offer good mobility, firepower, low rate of fire, and bad gun depression. But yeah, there'll be some changes up down to the middle, to the higher tiers of the mediums. The heavies, you know, they usually have good frontal armor, and they have good accelerations and rates of fire, which is pretty good with this. But yeah, as you can see right here, we're pretty much creaming the enemy team here. I've got one kill so far, and I'm trying to hide from this medium 1 tank, and it's not doing so well. Well, it's doing well up until right now, and you can see right there I'm trying to go after the FT right here, which is the French Renault, and I'm trying to at least try to go into cover. I know I've been spotted, and my tracks have been eating up most of the shots that these tanks have been laying out, and it's just not really going to plan. So I'm trying to scoot in, scoot out, scoot in, scoot out, so I can try to spot them before they spot me. But it's not really going to plan. And this tank from behind is trying to, well, it's a medium 1 pretty much, and it's trying to go after from behind. So while I'm trying to distract them, he's gonna go say, "Oh, hello, surprise butt sex." But yeah, unfortunately, I haven't read really good games with the Chinese tank recently, and I got my 2nd kill. Yay! But eventually, I'll be doing more gameplay with the Chinese tank trait line, and yeah, so good game right there, and 2 kills. And we didn't even lost a teammate besides one. 9,500 silver and 1,350 experience. And Mastery Gunner, Fire for Effect, Bruiser. I got some really good medals for this. And surprisingly, I got a Ace Tanker badge. So, yeah, you can see that this, the starter tank that you'll get, the NC-13, and, wait, oh, I'm sorry, NC-31, I'm sorry. But, as you can see here, you can do really good with this tank, unlike the with some of the others I've done out of there so far. But you never know, and I did about 370 damage, which isn't, that's really good compared to like the other tanks that or the other tier 1s. But yeah, let's review these tanks now, shall we? So if you like the Soviet tech train line, you are definitely gonna love the Chinese line. They're relatively the same. They're copied majority from the Soviet tech train line. But the Chinese tanks, they're more, I would say, smaller. They have sloped armor. They have good penetration, and they also have the mobility on these things on these tanks are crazy compared to the other tanks that you'll get. I mean, on the French, you have some really good speed tanks like the ELC or the AMX 12T that I'm using. It's nothing compared to these. They're really mobile. They're agile. But the only things you would have to worry about is you're going to be losing your crew members much. You're going to be losing a lot of modules much, and you have to worry about that bad health on your tank, which is a big thing, and gun depression. That's another big thing. But each tank has its own characteristics and all, and yeah, Chinese tank tree. I'm gonna be doing some tank reviews onto them. Don't know when I'll be getting to them eventually, but I am planning to buy I would say an HD card for the Xbox One, so you might be seeing some gameplay from various games as well, or I might be doing a review on it. So, that's the Chinese Dynasty pack. Vote, rate, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. GalacticStorm saying, I'll see you guys later, and I hope you enjoy your weekend, along with the 4th of July.